Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final exciting episode of my Pokemon Platinum Let's Play. I am Magnificent Entertainer, Bulbagarden Forum's head administrator. In the last episode, we explored more of Route 224 with Oak's letter, encountered the good professor himself, and we also found the Seabreak Path and Flower Paradise where we battled the legendary Pokemon Shaman. And then we returned to Floroma Town, where we gave Shaman a new form using the Gracidia flowers, which I probably mispronounced and don't care. In this episode, we have returned to Oreburgh City, and I am going to be bribing that individual over there to get him to give me something that was never officially distributed to anyone. What I am going to bribe him with, I have no idea. But let's talk to him and see what happens. Good day, you must be NG. I've received a gift for you. Here you go. And from this guy we get the Azure Flute. You look forward to my next visit, but you've basically just given me everything that I ever need. And that's all I will ever need. So this Azure Flute, let's actually take a look. As I said, this particular event was never actually officially distributed, so unlike the secret key, unlike the member card, unlike Oak's letter, all of these were actual events that were distributed. The Gracidia was not a event that was actually distributed, but it is an item that you get in conjunction with, I believe it has to be the Fateful Encounter Shaman. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, but all of these were items that were actually distributed. The Azure Flute over here, which is a flute that puts out echoing sounds that do not seem to be of this world. It is unknown who made it. That was never actually distributed at any point in time. But, actually, going back to my items list, if you take a look, all of these plates here that we've been collecting for the whole episode, for the whole series, I should say. The Draco Plate, the Dread Plate, the Earth Plate, the Fist Plate, the Flame Plate, the Icicle Plate, the Insect Plate, the Iron Plate, the Meadow Plate, the Mine Plate, the Sky Plate, the Splash Plate, the Spooky Plate, ooh, the Stone Plate, the Toxic Plate, and the Zap Plate. Each of these is a hold item that boosts the power of a particular type. It exists for every type except the normal type. But, if you'll recall, when we actually picked these up in the overworld, we got a few cryptic messages about the plates that suggests that there's more to these things than meet the eye. Those messages are, when the universe was created, its shards became this plate. The power of defeated giants infuses this plate. Two beings of time and space set free from the original one. Three beings were born to bind time and space. Two make matter, and three make spirit, shaping the world. The original one breathed alone before the universe came. The powers of plates are shared among Pokemon. The rightful bearer of a plate draws from the plate it holds. So there are some references there that we get, right? We understand two beings of time and space, that's Palkia and Dialga. We understand three beings born to bind time and space. That's Palkia, Dialga, Giratina. Two make matter, and three make spirit. So time and space, Dialga, Palkia make matter. Three make spirit, that's the Lake Guardians. We also know, based on the item descriptions, they do boost the power of Pokemon moves based on their type, so that kind of explains the powers of plates being shared among Pokemon, but we don't know who this original one is, or who the rightful bearer of the plate are. And that is what I am setting to find out today, because it is the final mystery of this series. So, without further ado, let's actually head north out of Oreburgh City. Oop. And guess what we're going to be doing, because we haven't done it enough in this game yet. That's right, we're climbing Mount Coronet again. Like I said, have not done this enough in this series yet, so we're going to do it one more time, and that is why If you actually look at my party, I have all of my party members except for Porygon, who is missing, and I've got good old Dr. Doof with me. So let's take a ride on Penguin. Come on over here. And don't go down there. And again, you know, we're climbing Mount Coronet yet again. This is something that we've done several times before. This is something that hopefully I won't get lost doing again. Wait a minute. Did I get lost? No, I did not get lost. I never get lost. Yeah. I'm never lost. I always know exactly where I am. Sometimes it just takes me longer than I realize to know that. Don't crash into things. But yes, as if it wasn't bad enough, or as if it wasn't climactic enough for us to have to climb this mountain to capture Dialga, well, to get the adamant and lustrous orbs in the first place, and then go to Celestic Town, talk to Cynthia's grandmother, and then to go back up the mountain, scale the mountain once again, to capture Dialga and Palkia. At least they don't make you climb down in between capturing those two Pokemon. Oh no! Let's go this way then. Alright. Do not want to be walking around with the grass and no repel up. This way, I believe. Let's use Strength, because I'm lazy and don't want to use the repels if I don't have to. I mean, this is my last episode. Why should I care about saving repels? You know what? I care about saving repels, darn it. Don't question me. If you're questioning me only at this point in the series, well, at least you started questioning me at some point, because I bet you most people have already been questioning me for a long time. Anyway, back over here. And I would like to ride my bicycle some more, except now I gotta go right up these rocks, so that was a silly move. I think this is why oh wait, I could actually climb up that with my bike. I think I forgot that I could do that, just because of the sheer absurdity of it. Oh well. Now we're back out in the snow, so we can't use our bike anyway. Ignore that. Go up here. Yeah, see, I've done this so many times, I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going. Only pretty sure, mind you. But that's better than I've been before. Alright, good. I feel like we're making significant progress because I remember this blue tinge. Yes, the blueness of the room tells me we're getting close to where I'm going. Although it is a lot less epic not battling Team Galactic while I'm coming up here, but it also takes a lot shorter of a time for us to get back to the Spear Pillar. But even this is not actually our final destination, for you see, if we take a step or two, Engie's Azure Flute is making a sound. Would you like to blow into the Azure Flute? Sure, why not? This can't possibly go wrong. Alright, Engie blew the Azure Flute. Wait a minute, what is happening? I do not like this! A glowing stairway appeared. By the way, you actually can do this anytime you come up, in the post-game, you can do this anytime you come up here with the Azure Flute. I'm just doing it now because, well, first of all, I wanted to save all of the action replay stuff until the very end of this series, and also because it just feels more climactic to me to battle a Pokemon of time and space, and then go up and kick their creator's butt. So, let's climb up this long staircase. Where am I, and what am I doing? Well, well, well. I probably should have saved. Oh crap, I really should have saved. Well, here we go. This is Arceus, and before you ask, I am going with the Dr. House official pronunciation. Arceus is found only here in the Hall of Origin. It is level 80, with the moves Refresh, Future Sight, Recover, and Hyper Beam, and the Multi-Type ability. What does that Multi-Type ability do? Well, I'll tell you once we've caught this thing. First, though, I'm going to toss this quick ball because I can. Now, I could use the Master Ball on this thing because, well, I'm not actually going to do anything else with this game, but I'm not going to do that. Now, this Pokemon is actually kind of annoying to battle because it has both Refresh and Recover, so it can heal status conditions and it can recover HP, but it's also pretty powerful. Like, I'm pretty sure I can actually hit this thing with the close combat, and it will live. Let's Earthquake it, though, just to be sure. And Hyper Beam, that is a stab move. Arceus here does have very, very high stats, so it's gonna hurt. Oh, dear. Okay, let's see what this Earthquake does. Probably should have gone for the close combat, but oh well. Yeah, see, that did, like, nothing. Let's try a close Oh, right, it must recharge. That's the good thing about Hyper Beam. It can fire that thing off. That is its main way of doing damage, but it has to recharge afterwards. Oh, don't tell me. Did I KO? No, I think that's hanging on with 1 HP. Oh, boy. Well, I'd be stupid if I didn't toss a Pokeball. And I'd be really stupid if I didn't toss a Dusk Ball. And one thing that I do dislike is that Juniper's loud HP noises are interfering with the wonderful battle music for this Pokemon. You know what? Let me actually switch over to Masquerose, and I'm hoping that I can at least paralyze this thing before it recovers. And you can see, by the way, I did mention that all of my team has the ball seals on it now. Porygon, I believe we've seen before. Don't KO Masquerose, please. Oh, thank goodness. And here we go again with that loud HP noise, making this fairly miserable. But now it's stunned and only has 1 HP. And Masquerose is going to take that Future Sight attack, so bye-bye Masquerose, but it's okay, you did your job. Let's send out... I kind of want to send out Grim, because that's going to reduce the amount of recovers and refreshes that this thing has. Oh well. There we go. And again, I would be foolish if I did not go for the correct Pokeball here. Let's use that Dusk Ball, because it is Dusk. 1, still nothing. Well, okay, 1 shake, but... So, yeah, Hyper Beam also does not affect Grim, so that's actually very helpful. Grim still will take damage from Future Sight, because I believe it's only in a future game that Future Sight does Psychic-type damage, so unfortunately, Grim can't just wall this thing ad infinitum, and I was expecting that. Ugh. Oh well. Let's fight and try a Dark Pulse. Oh, I'm faster because you're paralyzed. That actually makes sense. Future Sight, that's fine. 1 more Dark Pulse. That'll get you down to red HP again. Probably just in time for you to recover. No, you're trying to stack Future Sights because you are a total genius. Anyway, Arceus. What are my thoughts on it as a Pokemon? Well, it's certainly unique. I guess it's 120 stats across the board, so it's good at pretty much anything that you can want it to be good at. You know, the standard the box standard legendary, something like Mew or Manaphy or Shaman, that's all 100 across the board, or in future generations, Victini. So Arceus does have more raw power in comparison to any other legendary, with the exception of the mega forms of Mewtwo and Rayquaza now. But that's sort of beside the point. Anyway, I'm not a particular fan of its design, but at the same time, I don't dislike it. I mean, the thing that I like the most about its design is that its Pokedex entries refer to it having 1,000 arms, and it actually has, it's got 4 legs. I don't know if I'd call any of those arms, but, oh hey, Arceus flinched. Always nice when that happens. I should do something silly like throw a regular old Pokeball, but this is a very serious battle, and I want to convey just how serious this battle is. Plus, since I forgot to save, I'm also actually trying to catch it just in case I don't do as I've done with all the other legendaries and catch this thing in one take, without needing to... Wait a minute. Let's Dark Pulse again a few more times. Well, a couple more times. Yeah, so that's probably going to be what happens here. Arceus flinched again. Wow. I'm getting just about as lucky as Dahlia got against me as far as flinching goes. And there's the refresh. So no longer paralyzed. Masquerose's work was all for naught. But, oh well. Let's just keep throwing the Dusk Balls at it. And you might be wondering why I've got 2 sprites in the battle banner when I normally just have the 1. Well, Arceus actually has, I believe it's 18 sprites as of this game, because there are 17 types, so it has its normal type sprite, which is what you see here, and that's what you battle. Then it's got a type sprite for every single type in the game, other than normal, well, which is it holding a plate. And then the second sprite that I have in the bottom is actually a sprite that you will never see under most circumstances. It's the sprite that would be if Arceus was the question mark, question mark, question mark type, which you can only get by hacking because there is no question mark, question mark, question mark plate. I'm waiting for the next recover to happen, and I'm, like, scared, but... Oh well, I mean, again, this thing, it's the climactic battle, it's the most powerful legendary that we've faced, it's, supposed to be this big bad Pokemon, and it can do some damage with that Hyper Beam. I mean, you saw it, almost KO'd Juniper, it almost KO'd Masquerose. It is level 80, but Future Sight as a move, and even Hyper Beam as a move, it's not all that threatening, because Hyper Beam, yeah, it does a lot of damage, but then you get a free shot next turn. What makes the thing so annoying is Refresh and Recover, as I've said before, because that allows it to regain HP, and to get rid of any status conditions that you've inflicted it with. Very good, Grim, you use that, You use that Quick Claw. Maybe you'll make Arceus... Whoa! Okay. Apparently Arceus is very prone to flinching. But you can see because it's no longer paralyzed, of course, it's faster than Grim. I'm not surprised about that. Grim is a very slow member of my team, but it is capable of walling this thing fairly well, and I will know... several turn, or at least a turn or 2 in advance before Grim is even at risk of being KO'd. Most likely this thing is going to KO itself with struggle because, I mean, Hyper Beam's only got, I think, 10 PP. Recover and Refresh don't have all that much. And, I am making it use 2 PP per turn. Which, again, that's the way to get it to use up all of its recovering moves, but at the same time you're also getting it to use up more of its PP and potentially risk KOing itself with struggle, which is not something that I want to do because I did not save before this battle and would have to go all the way back to Oreburgh City and start this whole episode over again because I am totally smart. I should have saved at the bottom of the staircase, but oh well. Or not. Well, that works too. Could catch Arceus with relative ease. Hooray, that was epic. It is said to have emerged from an egg in a place where there was nothing. Then it shaped the world. It is the Alpha Pokemon. So this is that original one. Height, it's just over, well, it's 10 feet 6 inches, so I guess it's 10.5 feet tall. And it's 705.5 pounds. And it's got a tiny little footprint. Do I want to give a nickname to the caught Arceus? As a matter of fact, I do. Because whenever you catch the god of all Pokemon, you've got to give it a very cutesy nickname. So I will call this Cuddles the Arceus. Yes, Cuddles was transferred to Box 5 instead, because I think Box 4 is also full. Okay, well, that actually went much better than I thought it would. There is a unique soundtrack that plays here, which you can kind of hear in the background, which is very cool, and you can see the spear pillar is below. I really love this pseudo 3D effect that they did. It's actually quite like what they did for the Distortion World with up and down, and of course with the Canalave City Gym. Now, you might think, okay, we've defeated Arceus, we're done, you know, that's it, there's nothing else that I can do in this Let's Play, I should just end things off here. Not quite. I'm not quite finished yet. So let's head back into Mount Coronet. And let's actually use an escape rope, because I don't feel like scaling down the mountain. Back here on Route 207. And we're going to go back to Oreburgh City, because that actually is somewhere we want to be. And let's check out this almighty Arceus that we have captured. What do we got here? Move Pokemon? Yeah, you can see the legendary, roaming legendaries. And here is Cuddles the Arceus. As you can see, as of this generation, 493 was the final Pokemon in the Pokedex order. Naive nature, obviously, because it allowed me to capture it. That must make it very naive. There are its stats, so you can see pretty high stats across the board. I'd wager it's got fairly high speed IVs, and it's got fairly high special attack, well, okay, fairly high attack IVs, fairly low special defense and defense IVs, because again, it's 120 across the board. And there's its ridiculous moveset, and of course, it's got no contest stats. But I'm going to do more than just take a look at this thing. I'm actually going to take it, and I'm going to put it in my party instead of Dr. Doof. Goodbye, Dr. Doof. You get to sit alongside these legendary Pokemon. How fortunate for you. Alright, now, with that Arceus in my party, if we actually go down to the Oreburgh Mines, which are further this way, I actually kind of forgot where they were. Hey, you weren't here before. What have you got to say?
Hello, how do you do? I'm a student of philosophy. If I had to explain very simply, I study how people came to be. That could explain why I happen to be in Sinnoh. In Sinnoh, there is a myth on how the world came into existence. Investigating that myth may give me insight on the emergence of people. I found something very interesting soon after arrival. You may have it if you'd like. And he gives you another flame plate, which again goes through the text. The text goes through those messages that I mentioned before, and then it cycles through those again and again and again. I'm told that plate was created at the same time as Sinnoh. That plate I found bears this inscription. Actually, that is not what it just said. It said something completely different, but okay. Apparently you can't read. Alright, well, the rightful bearer of a plate draws from the plate it holds. The rightful bearer, I think, may point to the shaper of this world. Oh, by the way, I'm only interested in the words and thoughts left behind. Physical artifacts like that plate don't interest me once I've read them. I hope we meet again somewhere. Psh, sure. What's the likelihood that we'll bump into that guy again? Not very likely, I'd say. But, you know what? Well, let's actually head over to the Pokemon Center. Because I gotta get Tropius out. And I know there's going to be a lot of going through into the Pokemon Center and moving around Pokemon, but... right. There's Tropius. We'll switch it with Arceus for the moment. Again, the one thing that I don't like about those ball seals is that once you've set a ball seal, you have to remove it before you can deposit a Pokemon, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but oh well. Anyway, let's actually heal up my team, thank you! I can't believe I forgot to do that. I am such a lousy Pokemon trainer, even after all this time. Alright, thank goodness. You hope to see me again? Well, you probably never will. I shall fade into obscurity. Well, okay, fine. We're not going to get to the end of this episode just yet. But before we do that, that hiker guy said he hopes we meet again somewhere. I said probably not, but if we're going to bump into a nerd like him, it's probably going to be here in Canalave City. But, of course, got to go back and get Arceus because he's not going to talk to me if I don't have that in my party. So, let's grab the big guy, or the big Pokemon, the Cuddles. Yes, let's grab the Cuddles. And let's head into the city. And let's see if we can find the guy in the library. So here we are in the Oh, it's you. I don't think I knew you were here. Ah, hello. You're here to read too. Books are wonderful things. The thoughts of people written in books stretch beyond time and space. I was just reading an analytic tome on humankind. It examines the human species from cultural and social perspectives. This is a thought-provoking quote. It all began without humans. The end will also be without humans. The world we share with Pokemon, does it exist for us? I imagine we'll see each other again at the Pokemon League. Take it. No, we won't. I already defeated you twice. I don't need to defeat you yet again. Do I gotta go back, or do I continue going upstairs? Ah, the hiker guy. Okay, so he was on the second floor. Well, hello. We meet again. After we parted, I went from Orberg to Hearthome, Celestic, then to... Wow, you did that in the time it took me to fly from Orberg to Canalave, and then talk to the Elite Four guy downstairs. Anyway, from Orberg to Hearthome, Celestic, then Eterna. Yes, the town and cities surrounding the foot of Mount Coronet. Why my fascination with Mount Coronet, you may ask? Well, Mount Coronet happens to be called the origin of Sinnoh. I learned many things on my journey. Would you like to hear about them? Sure. The way I see it, our world began when the spirit within people was born. When that spirit came to be, there followed awareness about the world. Within that newborn spirit, time and space were intertwined as one. People, and Pokemon too, were but the same presence. As I understand it, people and Pokemon shared the spirit and awareness. They should have understood and accepted each other then. And he spins around a bit. Because they shared the same spirit, people and Pokemon intermingled. People took the place of Pokemon, and the opposite also held true. I don't know what you mean by that, bud, but continue. That interpretation could give us an idea of about how our world came to be. A Pokemon is said to have shaped this world. Could that Pokemon be the physical form of the original spirit? The spirit came to be, and from it, time and space were born. That seems to point to the legendary Dialga, the Pokemon of time, and Palkia, the Pokemon of space. And they lead back to Arceus, the Pokemon that made them arise. Isn't this interesting? Would you like to hear some more? Sure, I've got nothing better to do in my last episode than listen to you. Oh, there were also plates, weren't there? One plate read, 3 beings were born to bind time and space. Those 3 beings I read to mean the 3 Pokemon from the lakes. It's about Uxie, Mesprit, and well, okay, that's not how I read that, but fine. Okay. Sure. Whatever. It's about Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf. The myth describes how they gave spirit to the world, shaping it. But it all starts with Arceus first. It is known as the original one. Oh, by the way, I wrote down the words engraved on those plates. I summarized them in a book and donated it to this library. There it is on the bookshelf. I'd be pleased if you read it. I have to say, I'm glad I came out to Sinnoh. I suppose I'd better be off in search of new myths in faraway lands. It would be nice if our paths were to cross again. So he says, but I don't think that there's anywhere else where you can find that hiker. That said, there is a new book here. And I'm not too stupid to read it! Yay! Sinnoh's Beginnings, as told on plates. This is a collection of engravings from ancient plates found in Sinnoh. The original one breathed alone before the universe came. When the universe was created, its shards became this plate. I already went through this, but okay, the power of defeated giants infuses this plate. 2 beings of time and space set free from the original one. 3 beings were born to bind time and space. 2 make matter, and 3 make spirit, shaping the world. The powers of plates are shared among Pokemon. The rightful bearer of a plate draws from the plate it holds. And we return the book to its place. So, while we have Arceus here in the party, let's actually show off its different sprites. So I gave it that Draco plate. And let's see. Well, that looks different. So now you can see it's a Dragon-type Pokemon, and of course all of its Dragon-type moves gain that 10% buff, or was it 20% buff from the plate. They gain the type buff from the plate. Also, Arceus does have, which it doesn't have here, Arceus has a signature move called Judgment, which is, I believe, a 100 or a 120 power, it's a 100 power special type move, and that move will always match whatever Arceus's type is. So if it's normal, it'll be a normal type move. When it's Dragon, like it is right here, Judgment would be a Dragon-type move. But we're not done yet. Let's give it that Dread Plate. And this is just in alphabetical order. It's not in order, in any particular type order. So now Arceus is a Dark type. Oh no, how spooky. You can see its stats doesn't actually change, only its sprite does, and only the move Judgment's type would change. But I don't have Judgment because it's only level 80. Incidentally, any and all Arceus that were given out by event, and there were Arceus that were given out by event,
as opposed to the Azure Flute. All of those were already level 100. So you really couldn't IV train them. Or EV train them, I'm sorry. You can't IV train anything. And none of them could be EV trained. This one is only level 80. Earth Plate, so now it's a ground type. You get the picture. I don't have to keep going to any of the other screens, because all that matters is the sprite. So let's take a look at the fighting type version. And the outer world, like the in-party sprite, doesn't change at all. Just these sprites do. So let's grab that flame plate. Now I've got 2 of them because of that hiker. So let's give it the flame plate. Should be a fire type, probably. Well, okay, not probably, definitely. So there's fire type Arceus. And got to scroll down to the icicle plate. By the way, if I do have multiples of other plates, do remember that you can dig them up in the underground. I'm pretty sure I showed digging up at least some of these from the underground, so... And that's why, other than the flame plate, I have more than one of some plates. So that's ice type Arceus. And bug type Arceus. Up till this point, it was the only bug-type legendary that existed. So that's something, I suppose. Alright, that's that. Next up is the Iron Plate, Steel-type Arceus. Steel is a very good type, very defensive, not very offensive, so... Oops, did not mean to do that, but oh well. You can see it's very gray. The Iron Plate is another one that I have multiple of because I dug it up from the underground. Same with the Meadow Plate over here, which will turn it into a grass type. We're sort of making progress. So here's grass type Arceus. Mind Plate, so Psychic Arceus. And that's another one that I dug up, one from the underground. It's very, pink. Well, okay, not very, but just pink accented, but whatever. Sky Plate. Yes. So this is Flying type Arceus. There you go. Next up is the Splash Plate, which will be Water type Arceus. And yeah, I actually did move all of my plates so that I had them, just so that I could show them off and just so that I could show this off. I did that between episodes. Yay. The Spooky Plate over here will transform Arceus into a Ghost type. Oh look, it's very spooky looking. Oh no, it's scary. A Stone Plate will turn Arceus into a rock. Type, that is. There we go. Rock type Arceus. And Toxic Plate will turn it into a poison type. I believe this is still the only poison type legendary? I don't keep track of newfangled legendary Pokemon. But there you go, the poison type Arceus. And finally, the Zappy Plate, as opposed to the Zappy Bird, which will transform it into an electric type. How shocking. Alright, now give me that plate. Oops, I did not actually mean to say give. I meant give me, not give. Yeah, there we go. So that is that. Let's head back out into the city, because I'm still not quite done here yet. First of all, I'll swap out Arceus for Tropius once again, because I'm going to go flying somewhere. And I don't know, that sits slightly better with me. But before I do that, before I leave Canalave City for the final time, I want to do something to make sure that I never forget this city. And that something is going to be very, very stupid. Oh wait, I don't actually need to do this. Never mind. I'll remember you if there are moves that need to be forgotten, but I don't actually need to forget any moves to do what I'm going to do. So never mind. I don't need you. I forgot what I was doing anyway. So let's fly away with Tropius, and we'll fly to Veilstone City. Why Veilstone? 'Cause I like it. And while we're here, I'm gonna get the whole party with me. So let's bring on Porygon. Tropius, you go back here. And I guess, you know what? Let's actually take a look and remember all the Pokemon that we caught along the way on this journey. Just real quick, even though Drifloon I caught way, way, way too late in the game, literally. But yeah, here they are. Just kind of a parade, and you don't need to see all my unknown. You already know most of the Pokemon in here. You know, the fish bait. These are the event legendaries. Tropius, you know. Shroomish, Fappa the Magikarp. My army of Feebas over here. Award-winning Milotic. Yes. Don't want to scroll over that too fast, because this is my... what's it called? My third trainer star is the third trainer card star is thanks to that Milotic. But there's the rest of my Feebas. There is Heat Rotom. 2 of the 3 Lake Trios and Giratina. Nataku the Giratina. Gaspar, that lousy Haunter that you get with the Everstone. These are the Pokemon that I transferred from my copy of Sapphire. These are the Pokemon that I transferred from my friend's copy of Ruby. These are a bunch of random Pokemon. My shiny Roselia. This too, by the way. I still need to figure out a nickname for this. This is Regigigas, Dialga, Heatran. This is the event Regigigas. Registeel, Regice, or Regice, Regirock, Palkia. This is actually the Drifloon that I caught in-game, as opposed to the Drifloon in Box 1, which was traded from a different game. Manaphy, Fione, Farfetch'd, which was not worth it. That was the first Swarm encounter that I had. And the roaming legendaries, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Lunar Duck, Zappy Bird, Capaldi, and the Kosher Frozen Chicken. And of course, our very faithful HM slave, Dr. Doof. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Well, okay, I could have done without the roaming legendaries, because roaming legendaries are a pain, but whatever. That is what it is. We're done here. And that is the last I will see of all those Pokemon in the Oh. Actually, that's not the last thing that I want to do with the PC, because I want to give Porygon its ball capsule. And that's all of them. All 6 of my teammates and their ball capsules. I wish I remembered to put those on before the Elite Four, but oh well. So what now? Well, first things first, I'm going to do something that's actually probably going to make a lot of people angry. I admit I'm not thrilled about it myself, but I'm going to do what I got to do. Scroll way, way down in my TMs and HMs. And rock climb. And the one Pokemon I have that can learn that is Penguin. And I'm not sure how, because flippers aren't great for climbing, but get rid of Aqua Jet for that. Which, again, I don't like myself for that, but it's the only way to do what I want to do. And generally speaking, I will do whatever I want to do because, well, I want to do it. So let's take one last farewell to our friend Looker, who says the exact same thing that he always says. So long, Looker, so long, Game Corner. You will not exist in any future game, at least not in the same iteration. And let's head out south, because I'm insane. And let's see, we've already shown off Juniper, we've already shown off Grim and Masquerose, so let's switch Penguin to the... I said, let's switch Penguin to the front. And I won't deliberately be going into grass, but if I happen to get into grass and I happen to encounter wild Pokemon, then we can see the animations for the remaining team members that I have. But we're going back to the spring path, and before you know it, we're here in the send-off spring. Alright. Dusclops, not a big threat, but I want to show off that Penguin animation. Let's run. Alright, let's switch another one to the front. Splurb, you go to the front. Alright, good, good. For once, the high encounter chances are working in my favor. Hey, you're not Dr. Doof. I don't see a lab coat. You are not nearly as good as the Dr. Doof. Alright, there's Splurb. And the last one to see will be Porygon, which I think I actually did show in a previous video, but you know what? We'll get all 6 of them in the same video, gosh darn it. And this is why I needed Rock Climb, both for here and for the way back down, because guess where we're going? Back to my favorite place in the whole game. Alright, good. So now we've done that. And I can start activating repels again. Huzzah! As soon as I actually get back to... Oh! Yeah, I already was actually on the super repels. But I'll actually scroll way back up to my... Well, way back up. I'll scroll back up to my max repels because that's just going to be easier going forward. Alright, down we go. And back into Turnback Cave. And I do love this place, he says sarcastically. Oh, hey. That was convenient. Let's go this way. Nope, that was not correct. Let's go this way. That was also not correct. I do not have Rock Smash on me. I do not have Defog on me either, so this place is a little bit more annoying than it was last time. Oh well. Repel's effect wore off. But yeah, stumbling around through this gloomy cave with the fog in it, because of course caves can have fog in it. Can I actually go in? Yes, I actually can go that way. Let's go this way then. Alright, still no pillar. That's horrible, but whatever. Let's see. You know what? I'll go this way again. I'm just kind of blindly fumbling around in the fog, which of course is the best way to possibly end every series ever. No. You know what? Let's not go up or to the left. Let's actually go to the right, which did me no good. Fine, I'll go down instead. Alright, there's a pillar. That's 2. But I feel like I'm already doomed at this point. Oh, I've only gone to 11. We'll do right again. Oh. Okay, so here's 3. Then I think I have to find 4. No, I'm leaving that off because I was just stupid to have that. Hey! Here we are. We'll grab our prize, which is a rare bone. And of course, that's the whole reason I came here, right? No. The real reason that I came here is to jump headlong into the portal and go back to the distortion world. Because this is my favorite place in the whole game. And this is honestly where I feel like the game will have its most fitting end. So let's jump down here. Let's jump across over here. And let's go here. And you may remember this is where we battled Giratina. And this is where I, Sinnoh Champion NG, will await any and all future challengers. That's right. If anybody wants to challenge me to become the champion of Sinnoh, they don't go to the Pokemon League. They have to fight their way through, stumble their way through Turnback Cave and literally enter another dimension to battle me. I'm the champion. I get to make the rules. But this is where I will end the series. And so, the series has drawn to a close. It's been a lot of fun for me, playing through and recording this game. And I hope you've all enjoyed watching the series, because I know I had fun making it. Naturally, of course, before I fade into the oblivion of the distortion world, there are a lot of people that I need to thank for their assistance and encouragement with this series. Of course, I wouldn't have the technical skills or abilities to create this series if Saphir hadn't taught me how to use OBS. Saf was also kind enough to mail me his action replay, which is what allowed me to record these past 4 episodes. Also, I couldn't have even recorded this series without my capture card and equipment, so I would like to thank Dragon Nataku and Saf for letting me know how to go about getting a capture card for my 2DS. My test audience, MegaPod, Snowy, and DapperCody. I subjected those poor souls to my shenanigans long before the first episode publicly aired, to get an idea of whether my commentary would be any good, and if I had good audio balance between the game and my mic. Cody also gets a nod for helping me out with the video editing. most notably for the 2 roaming legendary episodes, but also with the Giratina and Regigigas episodes as well. And the artwork. This series has had amazing artwork from many talented individuals, culminating in the lovely series finale background that you are all beholding now. The episode's thumbnail and the image assembly and editing for the finale background were done by Rainbow Cloud, a truly magnificent graphic artist. My overlay, which I will continue to use in future series, was made by Elieson, who also taught me how to use said overlay. My MEtagross avatar, which appeared in the thumbnails and on my overlay, was drawn by Soki. In the final background, Penguin the Empoleon was drawn by the talented Crystallica. Masquerose the Roserade was drawn by the most excellent Sailor Snail Scout. Try saying that 5 times fast. Juniper the Heracross and Porygon the Porygon Z were both drawn by the wonderful Valentine. Splurb the Gliscor and Grim the Spiritomb were both drawn by the fantastic Sirius 13. Finally, the custom trainer artwork for NG the Sinnoh Champion was drawn by Bulbagarden's art director herself, Cresselia92. I thank all of them for the time and effort they put into making the artwork for my series. The social media channels for those artists who wanted me to share them are all linked in the description below. Please, follow them and check out their amazing artwork. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank you all. Whether you're watching this the day it airs or years in the future, whether you've watched through the whole series or just stuck around for a few episodes, I thank you all for stopping by, and I hope that I provided at least some entertainment for you along the way. So, what's next? Well, that's a good question. For one thing, now that I'm head admin for Bulbagarden's forums, I'll need to focus more of my attention on that. This does mean that I will be taking more of a backseat in the multimedia project and in creating YouTube videos in general. However, this series was a lot of fun for me to make, and I think that I learned a lot along the way. I'm definitely not ready to be done making Let's Plays yet, and now that I've dipped my toe into the waters, I think a mono-type challenge would be fun for next run. I do have some ideas for Let's Plays that I will want to try moving forward, but for now, I think I'll be taking a break. I'll use the time to begin making preparations for my next LP, but first, I'll be making a comprehensive review of Pokemon Platinum while the game is still fresh in my memory. Look out for that, hopefully, very soon. Also, I will find a way to send my Pokemon team and legit legendaries, so none of the event legendaries, all over to the Bulbatrade staff so that they can be distributed among our viewers and social media followers. I'll work out the details of that with the Bulbatrade staff, but before that, be on the lookout for tweets requesting nicknames. Once I've sent the legendaries off, they can't be nicknamed, so that should be happening very soon. Also, the shiny Roselia that I have is also going to be included in that bundle, so look out for a tweet asking for a nickname for that as well. Anyway, I think that I've rambled on for far too long, so I'm going to save and wrap things up here. Thank you all for watching this insanity, and remember, if you enjoyed this video, to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you visit our forums and public Discord server, and to follow all of our social media channels. With that, I will see you all whenever.